You know that electrifying moment right before a roller coaster takes its first drop? Heart racing, palms sweaty, anticipating the thrill? That's how public speaking feels for many. An incredible 75% of us, to be exact, feel this adrenaline surge before addressing an audience. A figure I owe to the diligent research of Dale's team at Psychology Today. But what if we could turn that intense rush into pure confidence? Let's explore how. 1. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. Imagine CBT as a mental toolkit. Let's take Sarah, a colleague of mine, as an example. Monthly team meetings? A nightmare for her. But with CBT, she transformed her thought process. Instead of drowning in the what-ifs, she started thinking, what's the best that can happen? Fast forward to last year, she not only led a workshop but received a standing ovation at a major industry conference. It's about retraining the brain to focus on success and positivity. 2. Controlled exposure. Learning to speak publicly is much like learning to swim. You don't dive into the deep end right away. You start at the shallow end, get comfortable, and slowly venture deeper. Begin in safe waters, perhaps presenting to a friend or practicing on platforms like Toastmasters. Over time, as you gather feedback and experience, you'll find yourself diving into larger audiences with ease. 3. Breathing techniques. Deep breathing is more powerful than most realize. A technique I often employ before any significant event is the 4-7-8 method. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. This technique, rooted in ancient meditation practices, acts like a calming anchor, pulling you away from the chaos of nerves and grounding you in the present. 4. Visualization. Did you know that top-tier athletes often visualize their wins? It's more than just a daydream. It's about mentally and emotionally experiencing the success beforehand. For instance, before any major presentation, I spend a few minutes visualizing the audience's positive reactions, their nods, their smiles, the engaging Q&A that follows. This not only boosts confidence, but prepares the mind for a successful outcome. 5. Mastery through practice. Like any skill, the more you practice public speaking, the better you become. Remember the first time you tried riding a bike? Wobbly and uncertain. But with time and practice, you were cruising down streets, wind in your hair. Similarly, the more you speak, the more you refine your style, pace, and content. Over time, what once felt daunting becomes second nature. 6. Mindfulness and meditation. It's incredible how a simple act of staying present can transform our experiences. Think of Mark, a friend who would often lose his train of thought during speeches, overwhelmed by anxiety. After adopting a daily 10-minute mindfulness routine, he began to anchor himself in the present moment during presentations. He became more responsive to the audience and less captive to his fears. If you ever find your thoughts racing, take a moment to ground yourself. Feel your feet on the stage, listen to the ambient sounds, and connect with your audience's presence. 7. Commanding body language. You might recall a viral talk by social psychologist Amy Cuddy on power poses. The way we carry ourselves can dramatically influence not only how others perceive us, but also how we feel about ourselves. Before my presentations, I often find a private space to stretch, stand tall, and assume a confident posture. By the time I hit the stage, I feel energized and ready. 8. Peer support and feedback. No one climbs the mountain of public speaking alone. The feedback of peers is the rope that helps us scale higher. After my talks, I actively seek feedback. A piece of advice from a fellow speaker once transformed a section of my presentation from me to mesmerizing. By surrounding ourselves with supportive peers and being open to their insights, we refine our craft and grow. 9. Technological assistance. We live in a tech-savvy era. Why not use it to our advantage? Teleprompters, presentation clickers, and even certain apps have been game changers for many. A colleague once shared an app with me that helps pace speech, ensuring he neither rushed nor dragged his words. By embracing tech, we can amplify our presentation skills, making our delivery smoother and more engaging. Conclusion: stepping onto the stage and facing an audience can evoke a myriad of emotions. But with the right strategies and dedication, what was once a mountain can become a molehill. Remember, it's not about eradicating the fear, but harnessing it, channeling that energy into a captivating presentation. The journey to becoming a compelling public speaker is not about silencing the butterflies, but rather getting them to fly in formation. With the science-backed tools we've discussed today and your commitment, you're on your way to not only overcoming the fear, but also shining brightly in the spotlight. Embrace the journey and let your voice be heard.